the production line. They build a 125cc model, which is two-stroke. And they also make 180cc two-stroke. You can see everything assembled here. And they make about 4,000 of these motorcycles a year here. And actually, this production line we're looking at, the motorcycles actually are exported to Argentina. 120 motorcycles a day are made here. There's a 180, look. Very reliable, very simple. Funnily enough, that petrol tank, very reminiscent of the early Hondas, isn't it? Do you remember those a million years ago? Of course, CZ have had so many successes over the years, and we're going to be taking a look around the old motorcycle museum a little later on. They also make here Skoda gearboxes and chains as well. A big part of the factory is a chain factory, but you can say you were working on the chain gang. So there we go. That's the way we put the model number onto the frame. And away goes another CZ to do a bit of roller testing. It looks like a motorcycle from the late 60s, doesn't it? With all mod comms. Very reliable and with a very good pedigree. So there goes another one. Funnily enough, this CZ factory is half owned by an Italian company as well. Here they make the motocross machines here, look. And in the 60s, they were the best in the world. About 7 world titles, I think, and then the Japanese came in and sort of took over, of course. But they still manufacture this 125cc machine. They build about 150 of them. It's a water-cooled one-cylinder two-stroke engine, which is rather unusual. Costs about $1,500, something like that. Let's have a look at the design department. You can see the Cagiva, which is the Italian company that own half the factory. These are some of their new models. That's a four-stroke engined bike that's going to go into production quite shortly. It's a 400cc, one-cylinder, four-stroke engine. Smart-looking bike, 5-speed gearbox. Does about 155 k's. Here's the old factory look. Many, many years ago, 1921. This is how it looks today. You can see why 7,000 people have their place of employment there. Now look at this, 1942. It's called a cactus, and you can tell that because of the shape of the cylinder head there. Doesn't that look fun? 1934, this one. 89cc, extraordinary, really. This is 1938. And you can see the gear lever on the tank there. And look at this. This is an old 175 250cc Sports Special from 1938. Quite a hard ride there. 3 racing machines as well in the museum. 350cc 4-cylinder from 1971. And that's has achieved a few victorious titles as well. The old megaphone exhaust there. This is the motocross machine from 1966. And this won the world title 3 times. 250cc motocross champion. This one had 3 world titles, and that was 250cc, as you can see. And the road racer from 1967. 350cc, 1-cylinder, 4-stroke. Now have a look at this machine, because this is fascinating. An Aussie bought this, went all the way around the world in it, and when he'd gone around the world, he gave the machine back to the factory. So a real bit of history there. He gave him no trouble at all as he went around the world, and the factory said, well, thanks for giving us that one for the museum, and they gave him a brand new one to take back to Aussie. Here are some of the golden medals, really interesting old museum. So we hope you enjoyed that little look behind the scenes to see some of the great crashes that took place in motocross this year. Interestingly enough, no one was seriously hurt in any of these. Well, there you go. I suppose I ought to say ouch or something like that, but I won't. What I'll say is, from me, Peter Noyes-Thomas, see you next time round. Look after those bruises. Bye for now. Well, welcome back to Go, and we're in Latvia, where we're going to have a look at the final round of the 250cc Motocross Championship over here. It's about 160 miles south of the capital Riga here, and the place is called Ežputa. Little wooden houses and a completely different world, isn't it? And Latvia is the middle of the three Baltic republics. And they've got their own language, but of course everyone speaks the main sort of Russian language as well. And we can see a fairly leisurely way of life here, and one or two museum pieces of bikes. And there are quite a lot of motocross clubs around Latvia, because the motorcycle is the main form of transport around here, and it spins off into sport as well. So this is the final of the Russian Championship, and they're held all over what was the Soviet Union, of course. I don't know how they're going to sort that out. And to compete, of course, everyone has to travel many thousands of miles to compete in the entire championship. I'm sure the layout of it will change a bit in the coming years. So they also have, they always have a parade of the racers. Here's Vestas Gosis. He's the favourite here, number 74. Keep an eye on him. And he's the only sort of true international. These two, Ledov Oskoy and Alexander Morozov, both riding Hondas. They're the two local favourites, really, apart from Vestas Gosis, who 25 minutes and 1 lap is what we have for this first heat, well, for both heats. And understandably, Gausus is out in front on his Kawasaki. And Morozov is second, Ledovskoy is third. There's a Dutch rider here as well, number 31, who's Theodore Boucher. He's on a Honda, so keep an eye out for him. So you can see, number 12 is Ledovsky. 31 is Theodore Boucher, who we mentioned, the Dutch rider. It's a hard, very hard course. I mean hard, it's solid. And the crowd cheering on their local riders. It's interesting to see how different it is. But they're riding well. Morozov had a little fall and had to start pulling his way back up through the field again. So Ledovskoy is now third overall. Morozov going past the camera there. And now everyone really is chasing Gausis. That's Theodore Boucher again. 74 is Gausis. And Ledovskoy is back in third position. There he goes through. And they can get up some big speed. It's a fast circuit, this. And they are leaving the rest of the field behind completely. And Gausis really having to work hard to stay ahead there. So in this first heat, Gausis, by far the strongest. He takes the checkered flag, and you can see no real problem for him at all. Second place, Alexander Morozov. In third place, Ledovskoy, he actually leading the championship at the moment. Sergei Judokimov came fourth. Here we see Theodore Boucher from Holland managed fifth on his Honda. So look at all the Hondas there. And it's a good day out, of course, for the locals. So this is the last heat of the last round of the Russian stroke Soviet stroke Latvian championships. Things are complicated these days. Oh dear, and probably in problems there, but Levovskoy actually got a really good start. And back in 12th position is Morozov, so I don't know what happened to him. And Viestus Gauchus is there as well. So Ledovskoy is in the lead now. And there's some names that we haven't seen doing pretty well up front at the moment. Kelodkin and Savodkin and Judokimov. Gausis is nowhere to be seen at this stage at all. And you can see Ledovskoy is absolutely storming ahead, and Morozov is chasing him hard and putting on a good show, but a little bit of fun from Theodore Boucher, who waves at the camera. And very good first aid here, no problem. So now the result of that second heat: Ledovskoy from Morozov, from Judokimov, from Kelodkin, from Savodkin, and a clean sweep by Hondas, would you believe it? The top 5 places. So the actual Russian championship led by Ledovskoy. Some great